What's been the reaction from the city and state to your efforts, particularly in Kensington?
Oh, it's been fantastic. We went from our little corner was number 5 in the top 10 drug corners of 2011, according to a Philadelphia Weekly article. And we are off the map altogether now. We have a relatively, quiet, peaceful neighborhood. We've got plants and trees and flowers. We started the town watch. All our neighbors together, we sweep the streets. And, it's crazy that, my next-door neighbor said, he told me that the first time in almost 5 years he feels comfortable letting his kids play out on his own front steps. So it's working, and we're in the process of developing sort of a series of best practices so that hopefully we can share these ideas, these tips and tricks with other neighborhoods and in other cities as well.
And Jamie, I understand that your production studio, you actually put it right there in that neighborhood.
That's right. Yeah, my thought was I really wanted to make sure that even my property tax dollars went back to the schools of the kids that I fell in love with here. So it made the most sense for me to be able to go. And so I bought an old barber shop that Miss Rose, the barber who used to cut my hair when I lived across the street. And so I bought her barber shop from her, took it apart, and turned it into a production studio. And it's been great. I love this neighborhood. I've been a part of it for over 15 years. That's a long time. But I've seen a lot of hard stuff, but I've also kind of been able to use my documentary background to find out research and statistics, and to kind of see what the bigger pieces of the puzzle were, and why neighborhoods like ours stayed, why the trouble continued to stay here. And it really seemed like there were very manageable processes that can be worked on. And so far, our tests have proven that there is a way to change these neighborhoods, and it's from within the neighbors, and it's so exciting that we're turning long-term renters into homeowners. We don't need. It's exciting that we don't need that sort of big external cash of gentrification to kind of come in and lose the fabric of the neighborhood. Our neighbors get to stay our neighbors, and we get to benefit in a safer, cleaner neighborhood together.
I know that you're working on sort of summaries of things that have worked, but can you share a couple things for people in other cities who may be listening to this, things that you've learned along the way that perhaps people could incorporate in Washington, D.C. or Chicago or Oklahoma City for that matter? Yeah,
sure. One of our we've been calling them social hacks. One of our social hacks is that we have, being that we were such a draw for drug activity, we had a lot of drug dealers sitting on our steps. And in some cases, we had more drug dealers on our steps than we had neighbors, actually residents on the block. And what I ended up finding was a set of city codes that talked about loitering. So what I managed to do was to work with our city councilwoman and with the 24th Police District, our district, they're absolutely fantastic. And what we did was we were able to acquire a set of no loitering signs. And I kind of call it our Al Capone method of fighting drugs, where, Capone went to jail not for being a mobster, but for tax evasion and mail fraud. And it was difficult to get drug dealers to go away because they were very clever in hiding the drugs or separating the money and the drugs within different people. But you had to stick around, you had to stay around in order for somebody to find you to sell that kind of activity. So bringing a no loitering sign into those places, and then having the police agree that they would ticket folks. $300 a ticket. So even if you're making $500 a day selling drugs, $300 a day of a ticket out of your paycheck, that's enough to make you move to another block. So, we definitely didn't solve the drug issue in here, but we did manage to make it move and make it less structured. And I'm happy to say that the 24th District actually has started to use that program, and they've handed out no loitering signs to businesses along our business corridor.
Jamie, we got to hit a break, but it is such great work that you're doing, and amazing stuff. Jamie Moffett, congratulations on being our Activist of the Week. We look forward to talking to you again in the future about your efforts. Great stuff, Jamie. Thanks for being part of the program.
Thanks so much.